Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's 7 a.m., April 7th, and price of Bitcoin currently at 74.22. All right, so before I get started, folks, I wanted to share a morning quote with you guys, just so you understand, what you're sort of up against over the next several weeks, several months, regarding maybe, people facing tough times, whether it's members of their friends or family who might be dealing with the coronavirus, whether you know a friend or you're dealing with, personal losses in uh, your professional career or your business, or you may have been laid off or furloughed or anything. Okay. So one thing I want to tell you guys is this quote really sticks to me from Winston Churchill, which is success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Okay. And this quote particularly is very important to me in trading because you're going to have tough days in trading. Okay. You're going to have brutal days where you're down a lot, and you start to question your ability, and you start to, keep losing money, but you think to yourself, can you keep doing this? But remember that no person in any career, in any aspect of life, has ever made it without completely just, really thinking of giving up. All right. Everybody hits their breaking point. But the thing that separates the successful from the unsuccessful is that the successful just decide to take one extra step. Okay. That's all it takes. There's no difference between me, you, and another person who's successful, right? We all have that capability to keep going. Okay. So remember that, even when you're trading or you're dealing with your business or your job or your family or anything, just remember it just takes one step, one extra step for you to just keep going. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to mention this morning is, the way the financial markets look right now. I explained to my community yesterday is, the markets right now don't make any sense. All right. Um, the fact of the matter is, we dropped a decent amount, right? We dropped about 35% or so. And now it looks like, every bad news, whether it's unemployment numbers, whether it's, people losing jobs, companies getting bailouts, you're seeing small businesses fail, loan payments, and people are not able to keep up their business alive. They're starting to lose, their businesses. All those people, everything that's happening negative in the world, and yet you see the stock market actually going up. Okay. Now, the one thing I mentioned about the stock market is that sometimes it is often disconnected from the underlying economy, which is the real economy, real people working real jobs for real companies and real businesses, right? And so the stock market sometimes get disconnected. Okay, but eventually the stock market catches up and understands what the real damage of the economy is, and then it starts moving in its direction, which is, ultimately down, as it should. Okay, so in this particular case, the reason why I wanted to mention that is, so here's the thing, right? In our community, we show all our positions. We have different asset classes that we trade. Okay, so for those of you who are unaware, not only do we trade crypto, we trade Forex, we trade equities and options, and we trade oil right here. Okay, so we have a lot of different channels with a lot of different asset classes for, anything that you want to learn. All right, we are here to teach you and show you exactly how myself and Faisal, who's our other analyst, how we trade, how we look at the market, what we're looking at the market, what levels to hold, what levels to buy, what levels to sell. These are things that Faisal and I show you guys as our Advantage members. All right, exactly what we're doing in the market day to day. Okay, so again, if you want to be a part of that community, go to Cryptosomniac, hit the products page right here, and join Advantage. And here's the thing, okay, starting May, all right, May 5th, we're going to raise up the prices because we've now offered so many different features. We have, before it was just crypto and some equities. Now it's equities and options, Forex, oil. So we have to raise up the prices. And current paying members will not have to pay before you join in terms of, April end or May 5th rather. Okay. So make sure you join before May 5th because we're going to raise up these prices to probably 125 or 135. All right. So that's a 25 to percent increase that you may have to pay if you don't join now. And remember, you get all these asset classes: crypto, forex, equities and options, and oil, right? And again, as you can see, here are my positions from last week. Okay, here's a winning position right here. We took a short, entered at 69.20, got out at 67.62. That was a nice short position, won that. Okay, here are my forex trades. Every single winner right here. Long, long, long on the dollar CAD, dollar yen, and dollar ZAR, and then short on the Aussie dollar right there. Everything won. Okay, here was my equities position, right? I can't say I'm winning everything, but here it is. QQQ was a winner. The 3 puts were losing, but by the way, these are still open positions right now, so they may be up a little bit. Actually, no, they're probably about the same or down a little bit more. Remember, these are put options for April 24th, July 17th, and September 18th. So I got plenty of time, okay? So the point is, tons of analysis, tons of information, just like the video you're watching right now. I do evening analysis and multiple updates through the day, right? As you can see, the evening analysis, updates throughout the day, letting community members know exactly what I'm looking at in terms of price action, where I'm looking to enter or exit. So yeah. So with that being said, I hope you guys come join, okay? Come join before the prices go up, all right? Okay, so let's get to the analysis, all right? So we have price action at $7,400. The key, markers for us to watch was, first break of this high right here, 7,093. We broke up above that and then blasted on through, right? Next break right here around 72.99. We broke up above that, went up a little bit higher, almost to 74, 75 or so. And so now we're fairly close to this big consolidation before we dropped off, right? So this little area right here, before we did this and then dropped off, that is going to be a good amount of resistance right here on the way up, okay? So the question is, are we going to get rejected right here and then break back down? Or do we quickly just wick just close to it and then start breaking down? All right, I think personally, I think we're gonna dig into price just a little bit. I think we're gonna probably get to the middle area, so which is around 70, let's just say 7,750 to about $7,800. This area right here, and I'd probably say that might be over the next 24 hours, 48 hours or so. Okay, because things have been moving so fast in the markets, right? Whether you want to talk about a drop from this high right here, 9,200, around the beginning of March, all the way to $3,600 in less than 10 days or so, right? Or from 12th of March to where we are now, which is April 7th, in less than a month, we made it from $3,600 back to about $7,400, right? So that's over a 100% move right there, So point is, we've been moving very, very fast, whether it's crypto, whether it's the stock market. And the only thing I can sort of ascertain from what's going on right now is the market itself, because it dropped so much, it's also been very confused as to, what exactly do we do from here? Has the market gotten so oversold that there are no real sellers anymore? And do we just essentially keep pushing up? Or are we going to break down further? Well, it remains to be seen. I think the first step is, at least in the equities markets, there are key levels of resistance, right above us, right? So for example, this one right here for the S&P 500, that's around 2730 or so, all right? Once price gets towards that 2730 level, I probably say that's going to be a decent amount of resistance right there, okay? Because you could see, this was all previous support right here. Once we smash that through, we use that as resistance with this big green candle, as you can see right there. And now we're approaching that same area as potential resistance again. Maybe it's today, tomorrow, day after, I don't know when. But I'd probably say that's the next big spot for the S&P 500, which also is, makes sense because for Bitcoin, we're also very close to that key resistance before we made, a big drop, right? So the point is, I personally think that both BTC and the S&P 500 and major markets across the US or the world are going to start hitting key levels of resistance. So big sellers who are going to come in and effectively say, excuse my voice, sorry about that. They're effectively going to say that, hey, I think it's, we believe that the market is probably going to see more downside. So it's best that we sell near this, key resistance level. So they're going to be looking at the same level, just like how you and I are looking at it. Okay. And so once this level starts seeing big sellers come in, that's where you're going to start seeing that drop. And once you start seeing that drop, I'd probably say more than likely, Bitcoin is going to start approaching that 7778 area as well. And same thing, right? Remember, Bitcoin being the high risk asset that it is, same way sellers will approach this level too, around 7778, where they're going to say, hey, we believe that markets themselves are in trouble. Bitcoin is a high risk asset, and I think we're going to start selling some of our positions right here in this particular area. Okay, so I'd probably say that over the next span of a week, maybe 2 weeks, I think there's going to be some big moves in the market. Okay, and that's something to watch out for. All right, and again, we update our community with everything that we do, every single position that we take, what we're looking in the market, whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum. We even have a alt trading channel right here. We have an equities trading channel, forex updates, like I said, oil and options, and also we look at BTC options too. As of late, nothing really you take in BTC options, but point is, we trade everything. All right. So if you want to learn, if you want to come trade with us, come join. All right. So let's get to the daily chart on Bitcoin. Okay. So here's where the daily is. All right. You can see we're actually above the 2020 yearly open, which is actually kind of great because once we broke above this on yesterday's daily, this was actually a pretty good, big bullish sign. But again, as per previous consolidation levels, that 7778 area right there, okay, we're right there, right around that particular zone where we could potentially, start seeing a rejection right around that 7778 area. Okay. One thing I wanted to show you guys is, let me see here. Okay. Let's see if I can pull up a different chart over here. This is kind of interesting, and I thought I'd mention it because I think it's very clear that as we approach this, big 7778 area, as you can see, if you look at this horizontal line that stretches across, okay, don't pay attention to just the exact figure of 7682. Look at the way price had been using that area as key SR right there. Okay, look, breaks down, pushes back up, right? Again, comes back to that same area, breaks down, resistance, 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 finally smashes through, uses as support, breaks up all the way, comes back, consolidates right there, same area as support, and then boom, smashes through. Okay, so now you see the importance of this 7778 area. Okay, now I personally think that this area, as we see the S&P 500 and global markets pretty much hitting a wall potentially, right? Especially even crypto, I think this might be the big turnaround point, okay, for BTC, because I think as the prices start approaching this area, people will have effectively seen one full month of the entire S&P 500 equities and Bitcoin continuously go up, and so that's going to make them FOMO, right? A month of seeing something consistently go up makes people FOMO, but unfortunately, they're going to be FOMOing at the wrong time right here, right? Remember, we just said this is key SR level, okay? We're not doing anything other than approaching this area as resistance. Unless you see a clean smash through and we do something like this and then we test this as support, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. All we're really doing is still potentially creating, a big lower high on higher time frames, right? So for example, this is your high, lower high. Actually, we can even dial back more, right? So let's do this, okay? We can go on the 5-day chart, all right? We can say, all right, so since the 20K high, what have we done? We've done a high right there, lower high right there, another lower high, and we might come up here and create another lower high, okay? So remember, nothing has changed in the overall structure of BTC, all right? Especially given the fact, I find it really surprising that people are bullish when their own environment around their life is completely changing. You can see small businesses shutting down. You can see your friends or your family or someone you know or some business you used to go to, getting unemployed, being put out of business. Um, the world economy is shifting right before your eyes, and yet people are still thinking, let me buy the dip on the stock market. In my opinion, the way I look at this is, let me buy the hype of the stock market and let me sell the hype. Okay, that's how I'm looking at this, because clearly people are so far removed and disconnected from reality that they're not seeing what's happening before their eyes regarding the stock market coming to a potential resistance area. And again, most people don't understand technical, so I don't expect them to realize, how this is shaping out to be this key support level, resistance level, support, and now becoming resistance right there, right? I'm not saying I expect them to understand. What I do expect them to understand is that, this to me, right, doesn't make sense, right? This going up right now, this is a dead cat bounce. This is a bear market rally. And you'll see plenty of these, right? If we go back in history, okay? So let's go back to the weekly chart, okay? So check this out, okay? This market right here, all right? So you can see, this is in 2018 or so, right? So we dropped from here down, we dropped about 10, 11%, okay? And then after that drop from 11%, we went up another 8%, okay? And then after that, whoever bought in this area, and by the way, this was 4 weeks, almost 4 or 5 weeks, then we dropped another 16%, okay? That's one example, all right? Let's go back. Let's go back to the 2008, 2009 financial crisis, okay? You can see in the 2008 financial crisis, right? Again, from the top, right there, we dropped almost 20%, all right? Then we had our bear market rally of a couple weeks, okay? We moved up 14%, all right? And then we had another drop of, then we had another drop from here down 16%. And then we had another push up from 16% down, up another 9.7%. And then this was the final nail in the coffin, okay? From here down, we dropped 49.5% or so, okay? So you could see there are these bear market rallies, folks. This is what happens. The market can't just go down forever, right? I get that. But you have to understand where you are in the market in terms of technicals, in terms of fundamentals. You can see companies like Whiting Petroleum. That's a big shale company. Just last week, they filed their bankruptcy. Oil prices are now needing more government intervention, potential bailouts, right? Guess who owns a lot of oil corporate debt, oil company corporate debt? Wells Fargo, Citigroup. They're already starting to see pressure on their lending programs. They're already starting to see pressure on loans potentially seeing defaults, okay? So you can see it's a rolling effect, a domino effect that you're starting to see unfold. This is the same thing that happened in 2008 and 2009, where people were in complete denial that, hey, the economy is going to come back up and we're going to be just fine. Of course it did, but that was like 4 years later, right? In this particular area, it was real pain felt for those who were in their equity positions, for those in the stock market, for those who were losing jobs, right? Those 4 years, at least a 4-year cycle of a lot of pain, okay? We can even see, right? From this high right here to the next time we broke that high, you can see right there, it took almost 2,000 days. That's at least, 4 or 5 years right there, right? So point is, just be careful in thinking that, this is the real balance. We're just going to, V-shape recover out of here. Not going to happen. At least I don't know any smart person in my circle, the people that I listen to, who agree with that. Okay. So if you don't want to listen to me, at least listen to people smarter than myself. Go do your own research. Go look at our Twitter on Cryptosomniac. Okay. You'll see the articles that I post, people across the board, the smartest people who are saying that, we're in for a ride in terms of recession or trouble in our economy. Okay, it doesn't matter how much money you can print. You cannot buy your way out of a recession that's going to come up. Okay, unless you basically want to nationalize everything and the government then owns 100% of everything, which is never going to happen. Okay, if you really believe in capitalism and if you really believe in free market, assets have to come back to earth. They've been overvalued for a significant amount of time. All right. Same thing with Bitcoin. Okay. I know that I might be one of the few people out there who's saying that, Bitcoin is going to be, um, maybe $2,000 or even lower. But I personally believe it. I think, especially in times of economic stress and turmoil, I highly doubt that anyone is looking at Bitcoin and saying that, all right, guys, I think we're going to buy some Bitcoin. I don't know if I'm going to eat tomorrow, but I'm sure as hell going to buy some Bitcoin. All right. That's not the case. Here's where I think, Bitcoin's final stop should be. Okay. This particular area right here. All right. This is around, $1,300 to $1,500. Again, I know it sounds crazy. I'm just saying that you should be looking out for this. Okay. This is the previous area from the 2013, resistance right there. And then that same resistance broken right there in 2017. And then we pushed up all the way. We never tested that area as support, right? So we got to test this as support. And everyone who bought in this cycle right here, okay, over the last 2 or 3 years, those people are going to get weeded out once price comes down here. And if Bitcoin is truly to survive, folks, all right, if it's truly to survive, these people right here who are just effectively speculating, a lot of them who have too much money tied in Bitcoin, they're going to get flushed out. No one has the balls or the pain to withstand another $6,000 drop in price. That's from where we are right now. That's another 83%. Mind you, if you bought here in 2017 or 2018, from there, it's almost like a 90% drop anyway, Let's see, 93% drop. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be buying down here. And guess what else is going to be? No. All right. A majority of the crypto companies will be gone. That's a fact. That's how bubbles pop. Look at the internet bubble. Look at the .com bubble, right? The majority of these companies are going to be gone because there's too much money tied up in too many of these leveraged markets with too many speculators who don't have any working products, who are not delivering any real world use. So those companies will be gone. Bitcoin will be at, maybe $1,200, $1,300. It might be 2,000. I don't really know exactly, but I do know that it has a higher chance of being lower than it is today and lower than it was in this December 2018 bottom, which is around $3,100. Okay, that's just my take on it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? That's okay. Listen, Bitcoin's not just going to go up from 7,300 to 20,000 overnight, right? It's going to take its gradual movement up. And like I said before, if I'm wrong, right, hey, I'll buy at a higher price. Turn that 77, 78 area as support, and then I'll buy, right? Give me signs that the stock market is actually moving up. The economy is, growing and changing and evolving to deal with the current conditions of the coronavirus, and I'll buy Bitcoin. But that's not the case right now. We're going to be in this for multiple quarters, okay? So brace yourselves. I personally think that the one skill that you can learn right now, today itself, start putting your mind, your energy towards, is trading. This is the one job that you can do from anywhere. You could be on your couch, you could be on your toilet, on your phone, you could be, somewhere in the middle of Africa, or you could be, in Europe, and you could still be trading, whether it's Bitcoin or US equities or foreign currencies, etc. Right? So if you want to learn, come trade with us. You can do this from home. Even if you have some spare time from work, maybe you have a part-time job now versus a full-time. Maybe you're doing, some extra work on the side, or you want some extra income, or you want to learn something new, or you want to figure out what's happening in the financial system, or you want to understand, why is it that, particular markets, Forex move on a certain, good news or bad news. These are all things that we'll teach you in the Cryptosomniac Advantage program, okay? So make sure you come join, folks. Again, 97 right now. It'll be 125 starting May. Come join. You'll be grandfathered into the current rate. Unless you join after, then I can't guarantee that, all right? Other than that, pre-markets are looking good for U.S. stock futures. Global markets actually also looked pretty good from today's closing, or I guess yesterday's closing. So all in all, looking pretty decent across the board. So we'll be looking at exactly what kind of trades that we want to get into, how the markets are looking, and I'll keep my community updated in the respective channels of oil, options, equities, Forex, and of course, crypto. Right? So do come join, and you can browse and peruse through these gains reviews yourself, right? You'll see exactly, what kind of people we have in here. Some of these people have been with us for 6 months, over a year. Some of them have been with us since 2017 and 2018. So we have a pretty good retention of members. People like our community for the honesty that we provide, for the kind of, no BS attitude that we have. Okay. I'm not going to tell you to think of going long or short or whatever if I'm not personally doing it myself. Okay. So the point is that, in this community, it's all about, actually holding us accountable, me and Fasla, who are the analysts, right? We'll show you guys exactly what we're doing. I show my losses, I show my gains too, right? Not everyone does that, because not everyone actually trades, whether it's crypto Twitter or other paid groups. Okay. So, come join, come look at our analysis, come look at the kind of like summaries that we provide, and the screenshots that we show, and then you judge for yourself. Okay. That's pretty much it. All right. Thank you so much for joining, folks. And just remember again, this quote. Okay. So I just want to end with this quote again. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So charge on, and, keep fighting for whatever you're going through, and you will come out on the other side as a stronger person. All right. I'll take care. Cheers, and have a good rest of the day.